About 11 years ago, I was at the Kwara State Polytechnic as a student of mass communication, and the very first time that I was going to get into the school, it was a building called the IBAS building. I got into the wrong class. It was a computer science department, and about 1 hour later I asked somebody in the class and they told me that I was in the wrong class. I left the class and I moved to the next floor above me, and when I got to the class, I was shocked at the number of people that were at the department. Approximately, there were about 1,000 people right in that very hall, and there was no seat for me to sit. In fact, there was a lecturer in the class at that time. I'm supposed to attend the lecture, but yet there is no place for me to sit, so I had to rest my back on the wall. But by the time I rest my back on the wall and I looked into the class, what I saw was way different from the average thought that actually comes into somebody's mind. I came from a very humble background. My dad is a carpenter, my mom is a tailor, and they didn't really give us so much. But one of the things I would never joke with is the belief they instill inside of us. The belief that we all can achieve greatness. It comes from their prayers. It comes from their encouragement every time they speak with us. That day, when I looked into the hall, one thing I saw clearly was my ability to compete against about 1,000 other students. This is not me bragging about having an strategy that I've been able to use to win over 1,000 students right in that particular hall. The strategy I'm about to share with you was the same strategy I used 6 years later after I left school and I came to an affiliate marketing platform and I still dominated. So if you have been thinking of the strategy you too can use to actually win for yourself practically in life, I want you to calm down and watch this video to the end. Also, this is not me trying to give you something that will only work one-off. It is something that can work consistently over the time. Not just that, this is the time for you to start having unmatchable results. My first day on campus was literally a moment that I can never forget in my life, because looking at the numbers of people in that hall that day told me something way different. Looking at the numbers, I knew that amidst this 1,000 people, there are people who are way wiser than me, way smarter than me. But one of the things I know is that not many people have the same drive that I had. It's not as if my time on the campus was actually a rosy one, because I can't forget the story of when we were supposed to have a particular test. We were supposed to use a Fusca sheet, but because I didn't even have money to afford the Fusca sheet and the time was even against me at that time, I asked people around, but they couldn't share one with me. So I had to use a normal small sheet to do that particular test I was supposed to do that afternoon. After that test, the lecturer came about a week later into the class and started announcing the people who actually did wrong in the test. He specifically mentioned my matric number, and he said whoever owns this matric number, that they should stand up. He said plenty things. In fact, he swore that I am going to fail the course if I do not stand up that day. I didn't stand up. I just sat there hoping that this would not be something that will ruin my belief. One thought that came to my mind is that I am already failing even before I started. About 1 month after our exam, the result was out. As at that time, I was working at a car wash as a secretary with the few months of break that we had as at that time. So few of my friends have gone to the department and they snapped the result and they sent it to me. They were the one who even announced to me that amidst everyone in the department, I had way better results than everyone else. I was actually the first guy in the department. Imagine competing with 1,000 students. I didn't just win once, I actually won twice. And even in the second year, I still became the best graduate student in my institute as well as the department. What separates the person who is getting unmatchable results and others who are competing in the same game? You might think it is intelligence, talent, or luck. But here is it. The room I was had people who were way smarter than me, more confident than me, and they were well resourceful than me. So what is it exactly? That's exactly what the series is going to answer. Strategy by strategy, layers upon layers. Wherever you are right now, in your career, in your business, in your academics, even in your life, this series is built for you. The answer to what gives you unmatchable results is not one actually. It's about 3 things entirely, which I'm going to be diving into them in a subsequent video. The first one is conviction. You must first believe that you can actually have that result. This is not me trying to teach aspire to perspire, but I am telling you that the first thing that a man must first have is the conviction that they can actually actually achieve whatever it is they have set for themselves. If you tell yourself that I can get better at this particular job, you will be able to get better. If you convince yourself and you have that conviction within you that you can be excellent at that particular career, you will be excellent. That music that you are currently doing, that artwork you are currently doing, that business you are currently running, if you tell yourself and you are so sure inside of yourself, that alone is the reason why people keep on pressing on the days when it seems like nobody is watching and the result is not forthcoming. Number 2, character traits. These are things like obedience, humility, doggedness. These are not just soft skills. These are the real deal. These are the engine that you need to be able to succeed and have unmatchable results. The number 3, which is the last one, is the execution strategies. This is where proximity comes in play, focus comes in play, partnership, as well as sacrifice. These are the things that will multiply the first 2 layers that you have actually built in the first place. I want you to think of unmatchable results like you trying to build your house. Your conviction is the foundation, right? And then the walls that you build are the character traits that I just explained. These are character traits. And the last thing you must understand is that your execution strategy is the roof. And anything that happens to any part of this building will mean that your building will collapse. One thing I've found over the years is that people are trying to build their house without the foundation. And if you don't build this foundation, this conviction, your house will not stand. And that is the reality. You will fail. And your inability to understand this process will mean that you will consistently walk in circles trying to figure out why you are not getting unmatchable results. In this series, I'm going to be teaching 12 specific strategies, and many of them are rooted in the scripture and as well as real world examples. So first thing first, we are going to talk about Daniel's consecration. And not just that, we are also going to look at why these people have unmatchable results. Also, we are going to be looking at Nehemiah's focus. This is exactly how he was able to focus on building the wall in 52 days. We're also going to talk about the uniqueness of Esther. And that is one of the things that separated her from all the virgins in the land as at that time. Also, we're going to look at how your unrepeatable advantage is one of your greatest weapons you can ever use to have unmatchable results. These are not just going to be another motivational talk. I'm going to give you tasks at the end of each session so you practically take action, and then I'll be able to track your progress as we go further in this series. In reality, this is not a content to just watch to feel good. This is a content that you watch to take massive action. If you're willing to commit throughout the episode of this unmatchable results series, I want you to know that you will not be the same again after going through the series at the end of the day. There's a task for today which I want you to do after watching this video. I want you to get a pen and write out that one area in your life where you want to have unmatchable results. I want you to be as specific as possible. Just one area in your life. It could be your business, it could be your career. That area in your life where you want to have specific unmatchable results. I want you to write it down diligently, put a date on it, and keep it somewhere, because from henceforth, that is exactly what we are going to be fighting for. And so at the end of this series, you'll be able to share your own testimony that you have been able to achieve that same result you wrote down. I will see you in the next series.